All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at the distance today. We're looking at the distance. Okay? So, first, we're going to start off with the Pythagorean theorem. Okay? So, the first thing you got to find with the Pythagorean theorem is what side am I trying to find? Okay? Sometimes you're trying to find C, sometimes A, sometimes B, but it's important when you set it up. In this case, we're trying to find C. So it's 5 squared plus 12 squared. Does it matter if I wrote 12 squared first? No. Good. It does not. Okay, so I'm going to put in my calculator 5 squared plus 12 squared, and I come up with 169 equals C squared. The square root of 169 is 13. You take the square root. 169. Okay, so things that are important here. We know we're going a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know that we're square rooting at the end. Okay, since it's a square root, it could be positive or negative. But since we're talking about distance of shapes, it's going to be a positive answer that we want to look at. Because the square root of 169 could also be negative 13, right? Negative times negative gives us a positive. Yeah, Tasia.
On the other side of C.
A and B does not matter which one they are.
Oh,
okay. All right, B. This is C. So this x is either A or B, so I'm going to make it A. X squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. So I get x squared plus 16 equals 25. So then I subtract 16 from both sides, right? So x squared equals 25 minus 16 gives us 9. The square root of 9 is 3. Okay, last one. Notice that x is my c again. So 40 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. 40 squared plus 9 squared is 1,681. And then I'm going to square root both sides. And then c is going to equal 1681, 41. Okay. Any questions so far? We feel pretty good about that?
yeah.
Basic Pythagorean theorem, right? Been doing that since like what, 7th grade? Okay. Let's move on to how this is going to apply to the distance formula. Okay, first thing we're going to start it just like we've done before. We're going to plot the points 2, 3, and 6, 9. And then we're going to draw a straight line connecting them. Okay. Then we're going to make our slope again. We go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's the difference from yesterday and today. Do you see this makes a right triangle?
Yeah.
Do you see that this is our C right here? Yes? Okay. So we're going to go 6 squared plus 4 squared equals C squared. So we get 52 equals C squared. Then we're going to square root each side. And let's round to at least 2 decimal places. So I get 7.21 approximately is my C. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, let's turn it over. Okay. So let's do the same thing again, guys. We're going to plot these points. We're going to go -2, -3, -8, -7. Then we're going to connect them. Then we're going to make our slope triangle. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be the same thing, right? 4 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared. So I should get the same answer, right? I should get 52 equals c squared, square root both sides. It gives us, again, 7.21 approximately is C.
Wait, what is that squiggly line?
Approximately. Those two squiggly lines mean approximately.
So we have to put that.
Yeah, because it's not exact. All right, let's look at the next page. All right, we're going to plot the points -2, +6, +3, -5. We are going to connect them. And then we are going to make our slope triangle. We're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we're going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it's going to be 11 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. The line is always c, right? Okay, we're good with that. 11 squared plus 5 squared gives us 146 equals c squared. Square root both sides. We get 12.08 is approximately c.
When you square root both sides, how do you square root about 146?
Hmm?
When you square root both sides.
Yeah, I square root 146. Yeah.
Okay.
And the square root of c squared is just c. That's how the square root goes away. Okay. Number 5. I'm going to plot the points. We go over 3, up 8. We go over 10, down 2. We connect our sides. We do our slope triangle. We go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 10 squared plus 7 squared equals c squared. So that's 149 equals c squared, so I square root both sides. I get 12.2, and I'm going to round up 1 is approximately c. Pretty simple. You're just doing Pythagorean theorem, right? Okay. Let's make this all into a formula. Okay. If we are always have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? We're using that over and over again. How would I get it so it's just c all by itself? What would I have to do? So how would I get that squared away from c? Square root it. Right? So I would just have the square root of a squared plus b squared equals c. So that's my start, okay? But how did I get those numbers in the first place? How did I get, for example, if we look at the last problem, we have 3, 8, 10, negative 2. And we're going to end up with approximately 12.21. Okay. So 10 to 3, we ended up with 7. How did this and this end up giving me 7? Okay, so we went 10 minus 3, right? What about 8 and negative 2? So we have to do it the same way, right? Negative 2, negative 8. That ends up, this gives me 7. This gives me negative 10. But I don't want a negative 10. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to square them, right? So let's replace this with A, B, C, and D. So I took C minus A, and then I squared it, right? And I added it to, so I'm kind of combining here with what I did here. Okay? C minus A squared under the square root sign. And then to get that B squared, I'm going to have to do D minus B. Ooh. D minus B squared. That gives me C. Right there, that's the distance formula. Do you guys see the Pythagorean theorem in it? Yeah. Yes.
You get done like doing all that. Are you really supposed to add at the end, like add the 2 ends?
So, right here, if we put these numbers in, we want to come up with this same answer, right? So let's try it. We're going to go 10 minus 3 squared plus D, which is negative 2, minus B squared. Okay, so this is important. When you put it in your calculator, you need an extra set of parentheses. So we're going to do the square root, extra set of parentheses, 10 minus 3, end parentheses squared, plus parentheses, negative 2 minus 8, end parentheses squared, end parentheses. You have to do the square root, parentheses, parentheses, 10 minus 3, end parentheses, squared, plus parentheses, negative 2 minus 8, end parentheses, squared, end parentheses. Do you get the same answer? I get 12 point, did you do your square root at the beginning? There we go. I get approximately 12.21. I get the same answer. You can do this either way. Okay, you can use the graphing, you can use the equation. Later on it might be easier to just do the equation, but we'll see. Okay? All right, I'm going to pass out your, actually I'm going to have you guys come pick it up. So if you're in Haley's spot, please come get the homework. If you're in Haley's spot, put back the calculator. Oh, you might want to keep your calculators, actually. If you're in Jamie's spot, put back the colored pencils. All right.